All right. And we're back.
Greetings and salutations, Mr. 411. Well, hey, running backs down, wide receivers down, and we got quarterbacks coming up today. And hey, we always talk about, the reason we got to do running backs and wide receivers early on, that meat potatoes, that's what it. But what I like to say quarterbacks and for tight ends to forecast for our next week's show, there is more of a strategy involved with these positions because there's the onesie position. There's the ones where you get one and you can pretty much forget about it. Well, unless you employ another straight. So that's what I'm saying. It implies different strategies due to this position being a onesie position. Wide receivers and running backs, we got those, and we got to give you extra just so that people can, you're going to have to get a bunch of those because there's multiple, and a lot of times you fill flex positions with them as well. But we want to get those out the way, and now we're going to go not only rankings, but try to advise you on what strategy you might employ with these particular positions, and for the most part, quarterbacks in this session.
All right. Fantasy expert. The calculator is in the house. Got you warmed up here. Got everybody warmed up. Welcome to the show, 411 Sports World Fantasy Football Show. We have the show on Mondays leading up to the season. And man, this is exciting one here, man. Quarterbacks, as you mentioned. So I can't wait for us to get into it. Hey, make sure that you check us out on YouTube, 411 Sports World Network. That's on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share because sharing is caring. And we're also on TikTok under Mr. 411. That's MisterFourone. That's Mr. 411. You'll find myself, you'll find the calculator, and we have all our episodes out there. So tune in.
As for those young folks, that TikTok group.
Oh, absolutely. Don't forget, we got to get our TikTok dance together, too. So, for some point in time this season. You remember?
I told you I'm not doing the dance till I won the FFPC, Mr. 411.
Hey, man, you're going to win that. That's already, we already put that out there. You're going to win that. So get your gritty on in a couple months.
I got you.
All right. Well, quarterbacks. That's our topic here. And we're also going to do a mock draft. So, and then we have news and notes. And matter of fact, calculator, what's going on in the fantasy sports world?
Well, big news came out. A big blow to one of the rising running backs, O'Marion Hampton. He's been rocketing. I actually saw him last week go all the way into the second round of a $1,900 entry fee to the FFPC to be some guy's hero running back. He did O'Marion Hampton as his starting running back, and then he just loaded up on receivers, and then hit like some of those other the Tank Bigsby and the Zach Charbonnets later on in the draft, hoping something else will hit. But the big news is, and this is why I do not like to draft early, even though you can sometimes find pockets of value. Slater, all-world left tackle for the Chargers, out for the season, torn pec in practice. Hey, I'm downgrading Hampton. I'm downgrading Lad McConkey just because Herbert's blindside. You got to do that. Hey, after this news, I'll tell people what happened. It is so big in a keeper league. I had one guy trade his keeper was Lad McConkey. But we don't have to declare keepers until the end of the month, August. Well, he went out there, and we can only keep one keeper. He went out and traded a second-round pick for somebody who had this person had a loaded roster, and he only kept one. So one guy had CMC, one guy had Justin Jefferson, and Saquon Barkley all on the same team. So he can only keep one. So he said, hey, if you can give me a second-round pick, he was able to trade Saquon Barkley to one team that didn't really have a good keeper, and he traded Justin Jefferson to the Lad McConkey owner. Because, yes, Slater, I'm downgrading all my Chargers because right now it's unknown. A lot of word on the street is they're going to get another left tackle, but even if you get another left tackle with experience, he's still not as good as the guy you just lost. We were talking about a top left tackle. And so I think that's going to, I kind of it hurts me because I have the Chargers going. I did the Chargers last year going to the Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl last year.
Yeah, and Justin Herbert's meltdown in the Houston Texans playoff game after they jumped up big on them. I still don't know what that was about. But yeah, I kind of. But their defense should be back. But again, it's hard to replace a left. There's a reason if you're a left tackle, you get drafted high in the NFL draft. So yeah, that's the big news of the week. Shador Sanders, great preseason game. Really don't know if that's going to affect, his draft slot because it is preseason. Hey, I can name a number of rookie quarterbacks, aka Ryan Leaf, that look really good in preseason, and then once the bullets really start flying, it could get in there. But hey, yeah, if you're getting all the positive bud, I'm going to throw it out there. Shador Sanders looked great in preseason action. Another guy not looking so great. My team, the Saints, show not looking good. Rattler has overtaken him on the depth chart.
Oh,
So that's another thing for those Chris Olave owners that has pushed Chris Olave's ADP down. That has Rashid Shaheed's kind of normal. So that's another thing to look at when you look at, hey, preseason is going to either be really good, really bad. Hey, another great preseason game for Travion Henderson. Ran back a kickoff for a touchdown. He's all the way up into the 4th round now in FFPC drafts. So
yeah.
all it takes is that one big touchdown, and it's just something else. So so if you wanted Travion Henderson, his discount is gone. But another guy who's been sliding due to the negative noise coming out of Miami Cat, Tyreek Hill, is dropping like a rock in drafts. But on the flip side, Waddle has rose from the 7th to the 6th round. Tyreek Hill has dropped from the bottom of the 2nd to the mid of the 5th. So those are one the kind of movements. Keep your eyes on those Miami Dolphins because those are, volatile situations. Because I heard one guy said Tyreek Hill has mental problems. That was one part of my AKA Antonio Brown. The guy compared him to Antonio Brown. We know what happened to Antonio Brown after he left Pittsburgh. It wasn't good, is all I can say. So but Tyreek Hill can still run. He's still in the offense, but it's hard to draft guys with a head case. So I'm only doing a Tyreek Hill draft if I have another solid receiver with my first pick and a hero running back, and then I could kind of take a chance in the 3rd round. No way I'm drafting Tyreek Hill with one of my first 2 picks. So that's another thing. Oh, James Cook, good news, guys. He's in camp. But not in camp. He's in camp. He's watching things, but he's still saying he's not going to play without a quarterback, without a contract. I think things will get done, but that is positive that he's actually in camp and at least watching what's going on. And still no word on Terry McLaurin. I don't know what that deal is. He's still in a standoff. The thing is, that's affecting Noah Brown. He's starting to inch up a little match, and Zach Ertz. I saw him make a move in a couple tight end premium leagues just because they got to have somebody to throw. Terry McLaurin, I still think again it'll get done because I think it's not a matter of money, it's a matter of years. From what I hear, Terry McLaurin wants the 4 years guaranteed. Washington don't want to go over 2 with a third year option. They don't even want to talk 4th year option. And Terry McLaurin's getting up there in age. So that's why I can understand Terry McLaurin. But Terry McLaurin's one of the most underpaid receivers in the league right now, especially based on production, especially what he did last year. So that's another thing that's being a real volatile in that camp. But that's pretty much the no other news. Oh, Addison got his 3-game suspension. We're still waiting on Rashid Rice to see what that deal is, because I'm hearing that could be because his is worse than the Addison infraction from what I hear, and that they said that could be like 6 to 8 games for Rashid Rice, so that could be huge after that because he will get suspended. It's just a matter of how many games. Well, a lot of people say it could be 8. He'll appeal, hopefully knock it down to a 6. But again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in the commissioner's office. I can only pass what I'm hearing around the league. And one more thing, another guy going up draft boards, Luther Burden, the 3rd receiver for the Chicago Bears, making waves. He's doing great. Hey, we said it. he was a focus for us in Missouri's run. Go and look at a lot of some of our old CTL content if you want to get a good look at what we did. Luther Burden was the reason we were high on a lot of Missouri games 2 years ago because he was healthy. He made his quarterback look better. He could have come out last year, but they wanted to return the whole gang, and just he got injured in the second game. Never was right. But hey, the talent's there. My buddy, Windy City, he was calling me up on draft day. Hey, hey, what about this? Because he knows yours truly watches a lot of football, especially SEC football, which Luther Burden was a part of. He said, "How good is?" I said, "Hey, Luther Burden is legit. If he's healthy, you got a great thing. Especially Caleb Williams has no more excuses. He's got Odunze, top 10 pedigree. Burden, great, great talent. And then you got two tight ends. One of them they drafted Loveland, top 10. So great blocker and a receiver. And then, of course, DJ Moore and a better offensive line, one of the best offensive lines when they got a Tune to come over and block. So, yeah, Caleb Williams. And that's why we're going to talk a little, because this is the quarterback episode. While you might want to wait on quarterback if you don't get the guy you're eyeing early on, Caleb Williams is set up to succeed.
Hey, you gotta be prepared. You gotta prepare for Plan B because you never know what's going to happen in the draft. And that's why we also do mock drafts, which we will do towards the end of the show. But yeah, man, that's the news and notes. A lot going on for 1 week of preseason
What
football.
preseason, man? It is. I even saw this. I didn't even know what the guy was. Jackery Krosky McCovey or whatever. I just call him JCM, the third string running back for the Redskins, the Commanders, whoever they are. Whatever their name is.
Yeah,
He's rocketing up. He was like getting drafted in the 18th round, and I just watched an FFPC to kind of get ready for this game. He was in the 11th round. 7, all because he's getting all that. Yes, Brian Robinson is a jag, just another guy, and Eckler is old. We know that. So that's why any type of positive running back news, you're going to get the third guy. So I thought that was kind of interesting too. Another guy that's just rocketing up draft boards.
yes, sir. All right. Well, let's get into it, man, with the
Yeah.
quarterbacks, man.
Oh, hey, quarterbacks. Hey, I love quarterbacks for one. Well, the main reason is because this is where strategy comes into play. Now, we're going to talk about rankings. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, they're a tier on their own. What do they have in common? Dynamic offenses, and they could run. They're going to be the top two, most likely. Jaden Daniels has got now, but Jaden Daniels, the reason he's not as far is he's still young,
Right.
and he's not nearly as big as Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Jaden Daniels is a little on the slight side. But Josh Allen, me and Mr. 401's top rated quarterback, Lamar Jackson, we're both number 2. So we're not going to really discuss those. I am going to say this. If you want Josh Allen, if you want Lamar Jackson, you got to draft him in the 3rd round. I don't see him making it past the 3rd round in any of the drafts currently. So if you want that elite quarterback, you're going to have to give up opportunity costs at other positions. You're going to have to give up the Tyreek Hill in the 3rd round if you want to pick. You're going to have to give up a Marvin Harrison Jr., a Garrett Wilson, those type of players, those top T. Higgins. You're going to have to give up some of those players if you want Josh Allen, Lamar. You're going to have to give up a Chase Brown. A lot of people like Chase Brown. And you're going to have to give up those type of players if you want a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Is it worth it? I can't make that call for you. I'm going to say, as a strategy, though, I'm going to say if you feel good about your later round running backs, your later bound wide receivers, that you can get these guys to help, go ahead and pull the trigger on Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Use that 3rd round capital, because then you don't have to worry about it. All you're going to have to worry about is their bye week, and they're going to be set for you in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So there's ones that sit it and forget, because remember, you only need one, and then heck, you don't even have to draft another quarterback until their bye week approaches, and then you can just, hey, some people stream the position every week. All you have to do is stream it 1 week, and then you're going to have an advantage at quarterback pretty much every week you play another opponent. You just got to hope you can nail those running backs and wide receivers later on the draft. So that's another thing. Now, you want Jaden Daniels? See, and this is where I flip Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts. Well, I'll just say, Mr. 4-1, you have Jalen Hurts ahead of Jaden Daniels. What was that deciding factor for you to put Jalen Hurts ahead of Jaden Daniels?
The support around him,
Oh, yeah.
for one reason.
Supporting cast.
Yeah, supporting cast. I mean, having Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, et cetera, Smith. Just the Eagles' offense. I mean, the experience of how they do things. Like, if when you're separating the two, in my opinion, that's what I'm going with. Hurts is not like it's not like he's 39 years old at quarterback. He's still fairly young as well. So I think health is okay. So when I just factor all those things and I want to break the tie, I'm gonna go with the better overall team. Plus, we haven't seen Daniels like the second time around the track to
Yeah.
see what the adjustments are going to be for the defenses this year, where he may have caught a lot of people off guard. But I mean, just like our list, you can go either way and you're good.
Yeah, yeah, and the reason I did is the I went with the offensive line upgrade for Jane Daniels. I think he has a better cast, in my opinion, than he had last year, and he has a
Yeah,
year under his belt. And Jalen Hurts, what worries me is Saquon Barkley stealing some of those touchdowns. So that was kind of the thing I got is like, I don't want them to get, I don't, I mean, yeah, you can say they have to tush push here and there and stuff like that. But
yeah,
hey, if Jalen Hurts say, hey, I'm getting a little tired of this, of getting beat up with all these guys landing on me, let me hand it to our all world running back. They don't have that in Washington. They don't have that. They, like I said, I just talked about that JCM guy, the hyphenated guy, moving up board. So I think the lack of the running game, lack of the all-star running back gives him more rushing upside. And I think, they know they're going to have to see they can win without Jalen Hurts. And what I mean by that is they can hand it off. They showed it last year. Just hand it off to Saquon Barkley when Jalen Hurts is having one of his games. But again, I'm not discounting Jalen Hurts at all because he's
yeah,
still a great supporting cast. He's going to get his every rushing touchdown. But there is a common theme in our first four rankings. All the guys can score rushing touchdowns.
yeah. I was
That
just about to
is
say
the
that.
great. I tell you, that is the great equalizer. And so, if you want Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, got to do third round. If you want Jane Daniels, Jalen Hurts, you got to do third round. You got to pull those early round picks if you want those running backs at this time. They could go up, as time goes on. And what we're going to do in our mock draft, I'm going to show you what can end up because if you've seen our mock drafts, we were concentrating on filling up running backs, wide receivers, and because we like the later quarterbacks. We like a Drake. I like a Drake May. We like the Brock Purdy's. We like a lot of those other later Caleb Williams. Not top 10, but that's the key, in my opinion. If you don't get those top four, I'm not getting Joe Burrow. I'm not, even though he's high. I don't like to pay. I don't like to use a lot of draft capital on a Joe Burrow. I'm definitely not getting Joe Burrow if I don't have a T. Higgins or a Chase to stack him with. I don't want. They call that the naked Burrow. I do not want no naked Burrow on my team. So because I think I can get better value later on in the draft. Same with Patrick Mahomes. This is not your Patrick Mahomes back in when he was. Folks, just last year, you can pull up the rankings. He was number one ADP. Everybody was drafting because everybody was excited about Xavier Worthy, Rasheed Rice, Travis Kelce wasn't over the hill. Well, Kelsey's over the hill. Rasheed Rice is going to be suspended, and Xavier Worthy. Hey, there's going to be a step forward, I think, but he's not off my board. He's still in my top 10 because he still has Andy Reid and he still has and old Kelsey, and he still has Xavier Worthy and so forth. So because of it, he just won't be on my team because I like the value later on in the draft. And me and my 401, Bo Nix, craft our top 10. How can you not? Sean
Yeah,
Payton. And he's a running quarterback. And he's Cortland Sutton. He's got 5 receivers. They just drafted another receiving running back, R.J. Harvey, out of Central Florida, which is going to be another supporting cast. So yes, lots of upside for Nix, and again, he can run. Now, Kyler Murray and me, this for one, he just made your top 10. I'm a little bit more higher just because, again, of the running upside. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. takes a step forward. I see a positive regression in McBride getting more touchdowns, was going to add to the receiving touchdown totals for Kyler Murray. So I'm a little bit more bullish on Kyler Murray than you are. What scares you about Kyler Murray? I mean, he still made your top 10, but definitely not as high as he was on our list last year.
yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily. It's more that I'm higher on Caleb Williams and Bo Nix. That's what it is for me. I'm higher on those guys because I think, especially like with Caleb, I think he's going to be able to just get a lot of stats, even if it's garbage stats. I think he can get that for you. You mentioned that he has the two tight ends. I really think Caleb is in a position where, hey, winning or losing, we're talking about fantasy football, so I'm talking about the numbers. So I think he can get those
Yeah.
numbers. Murray, he's still going to be effective for you, but I just think Caleb Williams will have an opportunity to get a lot more garbage numbers. And again, with Bo Nix, I'm high on Bo this year. I think Bo's going to surprise some people. I actually thought about having him higher than, actually thought about having him right there where I have Baker Mayfield,
Uh,
but I didn't want to jump too
Now,
high.
and I was going to say this about Baker Mayfield. I see you. Yeah, I mean, I understand, but the old adage, last year's stats isn't this year's stats, can be
Yep.
applied, in my opinion. Baker Mayfield had one of the highest efficiency numbers out of the quarterback position. And what I mean by is on the amount of passes he made, the touchdown rate is not sustainable. Yeah, it was just one of the, in my opinion, was an outliner year. Godwin is not going to be there early on. I feel yes, they got Ibuka, but he's still a rookie. Mike Evans, another year older. Yes, McMillan is another. I mean, he's still a young guy. Kate Otten was a fat. I see Baker Mayfield. He's still my top 10, but again, I don't like those pocket quarterbacks that are due a regression due to high efficiency numbers in the prior year. So that's why I'm a little more skeptical of Baker Mayfield than my cohort, Mr. 411. There any positives on Baker Mayfield you want to tell the people? That
Yeah,
I mean,
New
he made
Orleans,
top six.
New Orleans twice, Atlanta twice,
Oh,
and Carolina
his
twice.
schedule, bad defense. That mistake for normal Warren sack defenses for Tampa Bay. So yeah. Oh,
And they
forgot
giving
to
it
tell
up
you.
too. So I think
Yeah,
he's going to be in some games where you can get those type of numbers.
yeah,
Again, win or lose on the field, I don't care. I'm not a big fan of the Bucks, but like I think he can be in those type of games. He does have a gunslinger type mentality. Running around, throwing it around. So I just think he's gonna. It's gonna be one of those guys like, hey, you just get him on your team, and he's going to pile up some numbers for you. So that's where I'm at with it. But mainly those for those conference matchups, I like that. It's real tasty.
yeah. And let me tell you, he wasn't on your list, but he was on mine. And I'm liking it more and more. I know he got a little early injury, but he's shaking off. Justin Fields, love Justin Fields setup. Okay, you can say Justin Fields burned us before. I'm not gonna lie. I think it was his last year in Chicago, right? He just had a year where he was a top six quarterback due to all his running. And they said now he gets DJ Moore and everything was positive, and it didn't work out. If you got Justin Fields his last year, that's the reason they shipped him out of Chicago. But now he's got the best offensive line since he's been in the NFL. We saw what he could do with the Pittsburgh offensive line, with a Pittsburgh defense. They kept him in the games. He was 3-1 as a starter in their first 4 games while Russell Wilson was trying to get acclimated. Granted, he was benched, but I think that was more of Mike Tomlin's making a promise to Russell Wilson and keeping his word. But hey, I'm sorry. I think the Jets will be a top 3 run offense in the league, and I think that's going to be because Justin Fields, he's going to be one read. Garrett Wilson, if Garrett Wilson isn't open, Justin Fields taking off. Or if Justin Wilson's not open, he might dump it off to Brees Hall and get a few yards. But if any of those guys aren't open, he's going to go behind that run grading offensive line and get positive yards because I think that's what they're going to do. They said we're going to run the ball. And we're going to use kind of, hey, they might bring back the old wishbone with, Brees Hall and Braylon Allen, and in there with all all those running backs in there. And I'm telling you, I love the situation for Justin Fields because if you have to pass I think it's like 4 touchdowns for every rushing touchdown when you add the yardage into it, and that's a lot to do. Somebody like Joe Burrow can do it with T. Higgins and Jay, but like I said, you like Baker Mayfield more than I. I think that's where, although I do have Baker Mayfield higher than Justin Fields, but something like Caleb Williams, that's where Caleb Williams almost made him a list. By the way, he was number 11 for him because he does have the upside. But Justin Fields, I'm just high on Justin Fields, and I'm not even a Jets fan. That's what's crazy. You know, a lot of people say, you know, I talk about the Jets. I love their draft this year, but the reason I've been loving their draft is because they've been nailing the offensive line every week. And I'm telling you, if you don't know who to draft the offensive line. And because if you have a good offensive line, you can get away with subpar quarterback play. But hey, Justin Fields is going to have one of the best receivers he had with Garrett Wilson. Yeah, he did go. Hey, Justin Wilson was decent with DJ Moore. You know, he made DJ Moore relevant that last year. It's just he didn't use anybody else, which kind of hurt him. But yeah, and they got that the quarterback Taylor, Mason Taylor, out of LSU, another athletic tight end. So that could be another piece that he could throw to. So I just love Justin Fields' setup, and I just love that. Hey, I think he's going to return to the old days where if nobody's open on that first read, take off and get some yards. And we know Justin Fields every now and then can hit that 50-yarder and that's where you get all those bonus points. So that's why Justin Fields is in the calculator's top 10.
Hey, but you know what? I was watching Fields, especially on that early drive in the preseason game, and man, I mean, he looks like he's doing the job, man.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's a good fit for him. It's an opportunity for him, another breath of fresh air. And hey, I mean, that was a nice play. And you know, just like our top four that we have on this board, Justin Fields can give you those rushing touchdowns as well.
Yeah,
So
and see, that's why if
good
you're not going
value.
to do, yeah, and if you're not like myself, if I'm not going to use that draft capital on a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, you know, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, I'm waiting because I think I can get a Justin Fields later on in the draft. So that's why I really like that. I like waiting on quarterback if I don't get one of those what I call the big four. And Joe Burrow is in his own tier as that fifth quarterback, but again, you have to have the high passing volume, and he fits that mold though because they got a bad defense, 31st ranked defense last year, so they're going to have to pass if they want to keep winning games. So yeah, and we saw when Joe Burrow is healthy, he can light up the scoreboard. You know, but that's just it. He has to stay healthy, and he has to pass the volume. Justin Fields, well, he has to stay healthy, but he don't need high passing volume to prop up your team because he can get you there with his legs, and he can still have low quarterback efficiency numbers and still have 20 points a game. Which, you know, if you're drafting him in the, I just looked at a draft. He was drafted in the 12th round of the FPPC as a starting quarterback. So yeah, but this guy was able to do, you know, Zay Flowers and all these other guys in those mid rounds where they would have gotten, you know, have to use, you know, give that up to get Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. They said, no, we want the Zay Flowers early on and we'll get Justin Fields later on so that we can have that higher draft capital in wide receiver and running back.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, big shout out to Batty for tuning in. That's a new fan of ours, calculator.
Oh,
Batty. Yeah,
yeah, I
Batty.
like Batty. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Like me some Batty. But hey, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in and your support of 411 Sports World Network. Hey, calculator. I see we have these tiers. We got some pictures
Yeah.
of some QBs up here. Any QBs that we didn't discuss that come to mind
Yeah.
that for the viewer?
A rising quarterback that I'm starting to like more and more is actually Bryson Young. You know the guy, the Carolina guy, for the Panthers, came out of
Hmm.
Alabama, struggled. I think ever since he Andy Dalton took his place last year, he was able to sit back, absorb it. Now they got a alpha receiver in Ted McMillan. So he's got a guy that can stretch the field. He's got old man Thielen, knows how to get open. He's got Xavier Leggett. So he's got decent pieces. Oh, and didn't you mention Tampa Bay twice, Atlanta twice, the Saints twice? So he's got a favorable schedule. But one of the things one of the people I like the most is really Drake May for New England. He's rising up draft boards for the mere fact that I think New England's going to be better. He showed promise. Oh, he can run the ball, you know, and he has Hunter Henry as a safety valve, you know, and Kyle Williams, top nice receiver in there. But yeah, I like any of those. And Bryce Young, by the way, he can run the ball. So that's another thing that he can run when he needs to. So those are two guys that you can get later in your drafts if you're not going to get the Joe Burrow, the Jalen Hurts. Look at some of those guys in there and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's going to be the strategy for quarterbacks. You don't have to use my strategy. If I don't get the top four, the big four, I'm waiting and I'm getting the Drake Mays, the Brock Purdy's, Justin Fields, and feel pretty good about it, because then even you can do the double tap. You could do Justin Fields, Brock Purdy double tap. Just make sure they don't have the bye. Although we did that one where we got two guys with the same bye week, but it was like week 14. I said, yeah, we'll figure it out by week
We'll
14.
figure it out by then. Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't play
yeah,
13 regular season games. You should be
yeah.
established by then.
Oh, and JJ McCarthy, I think that's a thing you could do. Is when you wait late and get J McCarthy as your second quarterback, give him some time to get acclimated. By the end of the year, he's playing in the dome during the winter season, and most likely for a playoff spot with the offensive head coach in O'Connell. So he's going to favor. Oh, did I mention he'll have Jordan Addison back? By that time, he has Justin Jefferson. He's got Naylor running around. He's got T.J. Hawkinson. He's got weapons. So J.J. McCarthy is a great addition at the end.
Yes, sir. Hey, what about some rookie quarterbacks? I know earlier you mentioned
Yeah.
the performance of Shador Sanders. How did you feel about the rookies? And are any rookies that we need to keep our eye on?
Not this was a from a quarterback. This was more out of the NFL draft class, more running back heavy, and just running backs. They had a few wide receivers here and there that could stick out, but it was really kind of weak on quarterbacks. They're talking about the big class could be next year for rookie quarterbacks. I mean, yeah, you do have Cam Ward, but he's on a Tennessee team. Although, from what I understand, Tennessee does have a top 5 offensive line. So Cam
That's
Ward,
always nice to have.
yeah, if you're a rookie quarterback, yeah. So and he showed in college that he could avoid the rush when needs to. He can run around, and he's got Calvin Ridley being able to catch passes. So, I mean, he's a guy I would get him at. And see, the thing is, the reason I'm not getting him is, hey, I would get him if I had the Josh Allen, that early quarterback, and then you want to back him up with a
Right,
Cam
stash
Ward.
them.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm not getting him as my quarterback too. If I'm waiting on the quarterback, because that's when I'm going to get like the Justin Fields and the Drake Mays and pairing those guys up, because then I can, then I don't have to worry about streaming quarterback. I can stream quarterback with the quarterbacks on my roster. But Cam Ward right now at this point is a guy that you might stream later on in the season after he gets acclimated and has those Jacksonville Jaguar games or Indianapolis Colt games. But hey, that's another guy we'll bring up. You can get him near the end of your draft. Anthony Richardson, folks. That guy is I would say a poor man's Justin Fields. He's going to get you everything on the ground. The only thing that drawback for Anthony Richardson is, Jonathan
the
Taylor.
injury bug.
Well,
Well, that's it.
injury bug, yeah, but Jonathan Taylor getting some of those rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
They don't want Anthony Richardson, because remember, that's how he got hurt his rookie year, was running in a touchdown when he got that shoulder injury that pretty much wiped out his rookie season. So yeah, and in order to protect him, the coaches think, and Miss Foreman, I still can't get over Anthony Richardson trying to call a timeout to get a sub because he
was
tired. You gotta love it. I mean, usually you see that sign like this in soccer, right? I need a sub, but hardly do you ever see a quarterback calling for a sub, especially when you're in the red zone. But he was tired, so during a regular season game at that. That's what was crazy. Hey, but I'll give the man credit. He was honest when they asked him why, if he was injured. He said, "Nah, I was just tired."
No. Hey, and now it's on the coach to decide what to do now. Like, hey,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, hey, I mean, and then he runs around a lot. He's trying a lot of things. He's new to the NFL, young, adjusting
Yeah, I mean,
to the
I think
level. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
he had,
But at
yeah, I
least,
think he had
like you said, at least he was honest.
I think he had like 10 starts in college football, which was crazy to only have that many starts and get drafted in the first
Yeah,
round like he did. So,
yeah. Just shows what
but
kind of physical traits he has, man. Like for him to get drafted with so little experience. But we're wishing him the best, though.
yeah. And see, and we were talking a little bit about, those bye weeks. See, your Brock Purdy's and your Drake Mays, as you can see, they're both in that late bye weeks. That's good if you can pair them up. because it's a late bye week. It's bad if you keep them all that whole time, and then you got to make a decision because you don't want to carry three running backs on your roster. So one of the things is, hey, get a Caleb Williams, get a Brock Purdy. You compare those bad boys up, right? Caleb Williams has the early bye week. Brock Purdy's got the late one. Caleb Williams, Drake May. Work your bye weeks to your advantage when it comes to quarterbacks, because quarterbacks, see, tight ends is the same strategy in either drafting early or late, but tight ends you really can't stream. Quarterbacks is an extremely streamable position, and that's why bye weeks are huge when it comes to quarterbacks.
Absolutely. Got to pay attention to that. Hey, when you're doing these drafts, you do have to have your bye week sheet out there. That's a strong word of advice from this panel here, because man, it can make and break you. And then you sitting there, you made a decision, you drafted a player, then you're like, oh man, now I got four people on bye week the same week. That's a future problem down the line.
Yeah,
So you want to make sure you're good on your bye weeks. Don't let
absolutely.
it be the final decision, but definitely factor
Yeah,
that in when
you
you're doing your
factor it in.
drafts.
Factor it in. Factor
Yep.
it in. Absolutely.
Yep.
Especially at the
Absolutely.
quarterback position. Now, like I said, you really don't have to. Well, you don't have to worry about if you have the Josh Allen. Well, you do. That Josh Allen does have a mid third, and then Baltimore. See, where's Baltimore? There's somewhere in. Man, they got that big bye week.
Mhm.
Oh, 7. Oh, Josh
Yeah.
Allen and Lamar Jackson are off on the
They're
same
both
week. How
off.
about that? Wow. Okay. So week 7, you Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen owners, beware. But hey, that's where you can pick your Anthony Richardson or your
You know what? You know what, calculator? If
what?
I have one of those guys on my team, if I have a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, I hope I'm playing somebody who has the opposite that week. That'll
Yeah.
give me the biggest break ever. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have I don't have Lamar Jackson, but you
Yeah.
don't
You hope you're
have
playing the
Josh
Lamar. If
Allen.
you have Josh Allen, you hope you're playing the Lamar Jackson owner that week. That would be
Yeah,
fun. So.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely take that into account. But man, folks, if you have that week 8 bye,
Ooh,
look at 8. That's that 2 4. That's the 6.
that's
They call that
16,
the
bro.
Armageddon week right there. So week 8, right in the smack middle of the year too.
Wow, and there's some players on those teams I like too. So,
Yeah, Lions,
that's yeah,
Rams,
definitely
Cardinals.
Rams.
Yeah, yeah. So
Man,
yeah.
that's a
So,
crazy week there, boy.
mhm.
Okay, get my draft board together. Let me call my scouts and everything. Get them together. We gotta huddle up.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
hey, well, that with that, I think it's about time for us to do a little mock draft Monday. What you think, Mister 411?
let's do it.
Okay, and folks, we're going to incorporate. Well, we're going to see if we can, because like anytime I do that, like I said, the reason we do it every week is we want to see ADP, and this is going to be refreshed ADP from all the preseason games, so we could have some moves that were happening. So we're going to start the draft, and I'm going to be smack middle, 6th round. So our
Ooh.
sixth pick. So Mr. 41, ahead of time, 6th pick. We already went through our ranking shows. If CD Lamb's there, if CMC is there, I want him. How about you? Are you good with either one of them fall to our 6th spot?
Yeah, I have a feeling that Robinson, Barkley, Chase, they're gonna be gone. So I'm good with it.
Jefferson will be gone, I think
And
too.
Jefferson, yeah, yeah.
CD might fall to us, but yeah,
It's a
but I
chance.
think
It's a strong chance.
but CMC might fall. I mean, I'm pretty sure CMC will fall to us at 6, but we'll see. So let's
Do
start
you
the
think? Do
draft.
you think? Do you think it's because of last year's injury or the injury history?
Yes, that's the only reason, because the reason is, and it lay out 3 running backs went straight off the board. Bijan, Barkley, Jamar Chase,
Think Chase.
went first. But hey, yeah, and it's CMC. CMC was number 1 overall. He was the Jamar Chase last year. Everybody drafted him because everybody knows when he's healthy in that system, he has the ability to be the number 1 overall fantasy player. So that's why I'm getting all the CMC shares I can when I can. But in this particular draft, my number 1 wide receiver, if you please tune into our show last week if you didn't, I'm a big CD Lamb lover this year. I think he's bouncing back. He plays through injury. Heck, he was still gobbling up targets when Cooper Rush was throwing quarterbacks. So if I have a chance to get CD Lamb, I'm taking him because after him and after Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, there's hey, CD Lamb's my number one receiver. I literally have him above Jamar Chase. So that's why if I have a chance to get CD Lamb, I'm getting him. Now, if he's taken, then I like to fall back to CMC. So are you good with me clicking CD Lamb with this pick, Mr. 411?
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to get to work.
Yep.
That's going to look for him a lot.
Yep. So, and CMC went in 109. So that's why I felt if you have that 11th or 12th pick, you're going to get into the Nico Collins, the Brian Thomas, the Ashton Genty range, But the good thing is you can double tap it at the end, so you can actually get Devon Achane with an Ashton Genty, or you could do the wide receiver Devontae Achane, Nico Collins combo. So you have some things. So here we are. We did our wide receiver. AJ Brown. Everybody knows I like AJ Brown. However, I feel good with the wide receiver because I kind of want to get my running back. And the reason I'm setting this up, Mr. 401, is because remember, we're going to be targeting one of these quarterbacks, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, with our next pick. So in order to do that, I don't want to get overweighted at wide receiver. And also, I like a lot of wide receivers later in the draft as well. And the running backs. My tier break is really Chase Brown at this point. I like Chase Brown. I like Jonathan Taylor. Now, in the 411 league, I'll tell everybody who's watching that's in that league, I will take Jonathan Taylor at this point because we get those points per carries. Well, we're not doing points per carry in this mock draft, so I got to adjust. So that's why I like Bucky Irvin. Well, Mr. 4-1, you do the tiebreaker. I like Chase Brown and Bucky Irvin. Who do you like better between Chase Brown and Bucky Irvin?
I like Chase Brown better. I like the Cincinnati offense.
Okay. And hey, yeah, and if you can't get Jamar Chase, we can get T. Higgins at the third pick, but we're not looking at it because we want that quarterback. So, but just be prepared. We're going to play quarterback chicken. And what I mean is if Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson goes before our pick in the third round, that's when we'll pivot, get another receiver or running back, and hope that Jane Daniels or Jalen Hurts falls to us in the fourth round. So that's what our game plan is. We're going to hit that running back. Get our hero running back if we just decide to go wide receiver. If not, we can double up running back. Hey, Jonathan Taylor might fall to us in the third round if one of those quarterbacks don't fall. So, but yeah, we'll go with Chase Brown here. A little earlier for some people, but I'm with Mr. 4-1. If it's him and Bucky Irvin, I like a guy that has the workhorse role. So, wow.
Ooh, what we got?
Lamar Jackson went in the second round, Mr. 411.
Oh my man!
Josh Allen went with the first pick of the third round, and
hey, the AI is watching our show, man.
Oh, hey, well, okay, their quarter. Well, we want to go. We got to go Jalen Hurts at this, right? I mean, I know we said we played the fourth round. He ain't gonna last with the fourth round with all these quarterbacks going off, because everybody behind us has to pick a quarterback too. So we either get him or we got to wait. What do you want to do, Ms. Foreman? You do want to get our. Hey, that's your third ranked guy in Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's going to get numbers. So I say let's go with him because he's still going to get the tush push. He's going to get the passing yards. The Eagles are going to be on the field, a lot. They're going to be having long drives, so he'll get some numbers for us.
And we want to show people what our team can look like after we get an early quarterback.
Yeah.
So, because I think we can still build, off of that. So, Brees Hall, he just went. Devontae Adams, folks, has fallen down boards lately because of the Matt Stafford lingering issue. But from what I heard, Stafford's back at practice. But think about it. The Rams, we'll talk about quarterback with Stafford, right? The Rams have one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league in Jimmy Garoppolo. So we know what Jimmy Garoppolo can do when he has weapons. And that's what the Rams have lots of is weapons. So I wouldn't be too worried about. I mean, if you can get Devontae Adams sliding the way he is, I think he's a third round value. So if you get him in the fourth round, I say go for it. So, okay. So right here in the mid fourth round, McLaurin just went. Okay, here's our choices. Mike Evans. I like the wide receivers at this point. compared to running backs because Travion Henderson can fall to us. DeAndre Swift can fall to us with our RJ
Yeah.
Harvey. I love RJ Harvey. Heck, I love James Conner. Okay, as second running backs. Remember, we already got Chase Brown, so we can get this is our second running back. So let's get you want who do you like between DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Mike Evans? Who would you take out of those three, Mister 41?
Wow, I'll take any of them in real life.
What? Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. I think Junior Marvin Harris Jr. He has a pedigree,
yeah,
and he's really like another year of experience, right?
yeah.
He
And we
showed
talked.
flashes,
Yeah, and
and he
we
showed
talked.
flashes last season. Calculator.
We talked on the show last week that he was in the same room as when he was a freshman, Jackson Smith-Njigba and Garrett Wilson, and he was one of the best. They said one of the best receivers at practice, and those were
Yeah,
guys that are playing in the NFL right now. Ibuka, who's with Tampa Bay right now. They said Marvin Harrison Jr. was the best guy with all that talent in the wide receiver room. So yeah, and yeah, he struggled last year, but I think a lot of that was Kyler Murray and still trying to get his timing right with Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think
yep.
another year of that, an off season now with him. I'm looking at a second year breakout as well. Hey, Marvin Harrison Jr. folks was drafted in the first round last year. Talk about the draft album. That's why he was disappointed is because of where he was drafted. Well, now we're getting him in the fourth round, as our second wide receiver. Behind,
and you
Marvin Harrison Jr., CeeDee Lamb, young duo receivers. I like that combo, Miss Four. I'm going with you.
and can you imagine you have you have two wide receiver ones.
Yes, you're right. So we got Cortland Sutton and Devon. David Montgomery's there, but hey, I think we can wait one more round. And the reason I say that is I really like, even though he's not in this list, I like Ted McMillan.
Oh yeah, from Carolina.
Carolina, he's the alpha receiver. They're going to have to throw more. Cortland Sutton, I mean, he's a little bit older. But or we could just go with the safe pick with David Montgomery. But like I said, in running back, we still have DeAndre Swift still out there. RJ Harvey is still out there. What do you think? Do you want to stay in the receiver room? Because this is going to fill out a flex player.
Well, look, three stud receivers to go along with Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? To go along with Chase Brown. I think we could.
Jalen Hurts. I forgot about that. Let's do the stack. Devontae Smith with Jalen Hurts. How's that sound?
Now, so you want Smith over McMillan?
Yes. The
Because
reason I say that is because we have Jalen Hurts. If we had the Jaden Daniels, if we had the Josh Allen, if we had the Lamar Jackson, I have Ted McMillan rated ahead of Devontae Smith. But from a game theory perspective, if you're in any type of tournament at the end, you need to stack your quarterback. So I think because of Jalen Hurts, this is where we go with a guy that even though he's ranked below a player, I say let's go with the stack over the guy we just have stats more than, because you got to think some of those, and also a lot of leagues get money for top points. FFPC, no matter win or loss record, if you have the most points in your league, you automatically go to the tournament round. So I think game theory prospects and just overall with our team build, I would rather go with Devontae Smith at this point.
okay, I'm good with it.
Okay, but yes,
You
folks,
can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with having Devontae Smith, especially as your wide receiver three.
That's right, and this is where strategy comes in, though, right? Like I said, if we had Josh Allen, if we had any of the other big four, we would go with the higher rated Ted. And when I say higher rated, our rankings have Ted McMillan higher than Devontae Smith. But I think the stack would do us good in this system. So we're going to go with Devontae Smith. All right. So now running backs are going off the board. Oh, no. Oh, man. I thought Travion Henderson was going to make it to us. I got a little excited there, Mr. 411. So, but, hey, RJ Harvey, I like RJ Harvey. The one thing that scares me about Aaron Jones is Jordan Mason possibly getting the goal line carries. Aaron Jones is the pass catching guy, but I like RJ Harvey's upside. He's in the Sean Payton. They used a second day draft capital to get him. Sean Payton called him the Joker, Well, you know who another person he called the Joker when he drafted him? Alvin Kamara, and I think that worked
Oh
out pretty
wow.
good for Sean Payton.
Hey, come on
So,
now. With that
so,
kind of
so,
comparison, man.
yeah. And he's our second running back. So we can beef up our running back later on in the draft. I feel we get some other backups, hoping seeing if injuries. But for right now, we don't. I think he's the guy for upside purposes. Are you good?
I'm good with it, Cal.
RJ Harvey on the team. Oh, wide receiver run, folks. There was a big wide receiver. But see, we're good at wide receiver. And look, I think this
Yeah.
works out good for us from a mere fact that we'll look at our team real quick. We got Jalen Hurts, quarterbacks wrapped up. Chase Brown,
Yep.
RJ Harvey, wide receiver, or running
Good.
backs. I feel good about. Hey, we know. Hey, we're already stacked up. CeeDee Lamb, Marvin Harrison, Devontae Smith. If we got another receiver, then we got problems, right? So I say because I like everybody knows I'm a Saints fan, but Chris Olave, yes, we don't have to start him. I think we need to stay in the running back room because we got young guys, Chase Brown and RJ Harvey. I think I want to go with a little veteran. I'm at a Tony Pollard, Isaiah Pacheco type range. What do you think, Mr. 41? If you had your choice between Tony Pollard, but again, top 5 offensive line in Tennessee, and Isaiah Pacheco, you know, he should be fully recovered from that injury. I don't think he was ever really recovered. And that's why he was sluggish when he come back last year. But he's still, Isaiah Pacheco is still sharing a backfield with Kareem Hunt, back there. And Tony Pollard's with Ty J. Spears for the most part. But I'd like Tony Pollard. But if you like Isaiah Pacheco more, I'll go with that. What would you choose between those two?
I would go with Pollard.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think, Cam Ward's gonna I think he's, in Tennessee, I think he's gonna need him. He's gonna
Yeah,
rely on him a lot. You
Tony
know what I'm saying? A lot of
Pollard
check downs.
and Tony Pollard, a lot of people said, they did the Lamar Miller call for Tony Pollard last year or 2 years ago in Dallas, free Tony Pollard, and then he got all these carries and got basically the same thing he got when he had less carries. Tony Pollard is an efficiency guy. Let him get his 13 to 15 carries and his 10 pass routes, and he'll get you the same numbers as if you give him 20 carries and 5 pass routes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm going with Tony Pollard, and I feel good with our running back room now at this point. Chris Olave went right after him, and see the good thing about drafting this quarterback early is we hadn't had to worry about the Brock Purdy's falling to us or the Drake because we got our quarterback, and now they're where we're kind of light on tight end, but
Yeah. We don't even have one.
we don't have one. But I like Tucker Craft in redraft leagues. I like Tyler Warren, the rookie out of Indianapolis. And everybody knows still have a soft spot in my heart for Dalton Kincaid, even though he burnt me last year. So I think one of those three will fall back to us. So I say let's stay in the wide receiver room, and I'm going to just so he's out here. I know he's day to day, but Juwan Jennings isn't hurt. Juwan Jennings wants the new contract. He's playing the hurt card. But hey, Debo Samuel's out of town. We saw what Juwan Jennings can do when he is in 3 wide receiver sets, and we know what he can do when his target share goes up, which is going to do this year. So I like Juwan Jennings from he's not starting, and we can put him on our bench and see if he can do what he replicated last year. What about you? I mean, I like Jacoby Myers too. He has the Jacoby Myers and Khalil Shakir. Those are your floor guys. They're going to get you 8 to 10 points every week, which are good for bye weeks. Good if you got an injury. But I want a guy that has upside at this point if he's not going to be starting for us with Juwan Jennings. What about you, Mr. 401?
I'm just kind of scanning some of these players out here. Um, yeah, based on what I'm looking at out here, I don't see anybody else that really grabs me to take over Jennings. One of my draft projections have him gone by now, so let's
Okay.
take him.
Okay. I like to get the okay from 411. There we go. And look, no tight ends off the board. So all the tight ends I said were going to be there, they're still there. So we can do one of two things. We can stay in the running back room. Jordan Mason is still there. We talked about him earlier. Zach Charbonnet, your man, still out there, Mr. 4-1 for your team.
He's gonna get a couple weeks. He's gonna get a couple starts this season.
Yeah. But I say let's play it safe. Let's get Tucker Craft. He's a great tight end that he's going to get you. He's the lead tight end and what could be an explosive Packers offense this year. Or you can go with Tyler Warren. I like Tyler. Or like I said, or we can hit a running back. What do you think, Mister 41?
Well, I would love to get a tight end at this point,
Okay,
just to
Tyler
round
Warren
off
or
our
Tucker Craft?
starters. Whew, that's tough. It's because of the unknown for Warren. You know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of you have to just kind of go off a gut with Warren, because he's definitely going to be involved. But Kraft had that huge game last year. Matter of fact, one of our episodes was about Kraft. He made our
Yep.
cover.
He
You know what I
he
mean?
he
So
made when he was one of our waiver shows. He said, "Hey, pick up
that's
Kraft,"
right.
and he helped people out. Hey, folks, that's why you gotta like, subscribe, and notify because we don't stop in the preseason. We go all the way through the season to help people out. And I know Mister 401 likes the waiver show. He used that to pick up Kate Otten in the
That's
league
right.
too. So that
And I had Kraft.
and 3 years ago, we got Rashad Penny, and people that picked up Rashad Penny on our waiver show won championships when he went on that amazing run as a pickup out of nowhere. So yeah, that's why you got to tune in during the season because we don't stop after preseasons. So we're gonna do it with Tucker Kraft, Mister 401. Like I said, he made our show last year. He's solid. It's in pen that he is taken over Musgrave as the top talent, and they don't play a lot of 12 personnel in Green Bay. So when he's out there, he's running routes. So
Yep.
that's another reason I like. And when they do put 12 personnel, Musgrave's the guy that's blocking. Wycraft goes out for the pass. So
We
we're
love
going
those
with
tight ends that's running those routes, man. We love tight ends that run routes.
yeah. Oh, and just another thing, Mr. 41, we could sneak a little Kyle Pitts action later in this draft too. To just so that's another thing we might want to keep in the back burner. Mr. 41, we got to take Tajay Spears, and the reason we got to take Tajay Spears is because we have Tony Pollard. So if Tony Pollard don't live up to expectations, we got the fallback, right? So are you good with that Tajay Spears at this point, Mr. 41?
Once again, he fits the draft board. He's in that round. So I
Yep.
say go ahead and do it. And again, what we're doing now is just we're building our depth, we're building
Yep.
our bench, and so that we can make maneuvers throughout the season and not really have to rely on some other team helping us out. So why don't we just go ahead and cover ourselves with that?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, we could always go with and we're going to save this, our lottery ticket, for our next pick, and I'll bring it up when he gets here. I don't want to jinx us. But I think we'll get Tajay Spears here because I feel good with, Juwan Jennings. I mean, but I don't worry. I have a surprise for people if he falls to us. I don't know if he's going to fall to us, but right now we're, like you said, we're locking up depth, Mister 41. So we're going with Tajay Spears to lock down that running back room. And
Yeah.
see, the wide receiver, he fell to us. Rashid Shaheed, Mister 41. If people know, yes, I'm not. Yeah, okay, I'm a Saints fan,
You're a
but
Saints fan.
we're in the round, and we get a guy that can pop off a 20-point game on any given day. So we could take a chance that he falls to us, but I don't want to take a chance if we can get him now. What you think, Mister 41?
Go ahead. I mean, get them, man. I mean, again, this is more depth. Like we have three tough receivers already. With Smith. You know what I'm saying? With Smith and our other two receivers, Lamb. You know what I'm saying? We're loaded at receiver. This
Yeah.
just makes it even better. Oh, Harrison Jr. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So if we can roll out a Shaheed on a bye week,
Oh
we're
yeah.
winning.
Yeah. And now, Mister 41, hey, my lottery ticket is still out there, Mister 41. His name, Ray Davis, out of
Ray
Kentucky.
Ray.
I tell you, I love me some Ray Davis, and if he can fall to me in the 12th round, are you ready? Or do you want to take that lottery ticket, Mister 411? Or
If you go, you
because I
know,
think Kyle Pitts will fall to us. Okay,
that's
and
what I was just about to say. Cal Pitts
I
and
knew you were
and
about
Ray
to say
Ray,
that.
they're in the similar bucket here. So I mean, but I'll say this because we have Kraft, it's
Yep.
okay with me to go ahead and go with Ray Ray. Plus,
Yeah.
Ray Ray is a running back, and I
And,
love
and
running backs.
yeah, and James Cook injury. We saw what happened when Ray Davis was in there. He went crazy. The guy can handle a full workload. So I'm telling you, to get a guy as a lottery ticket in the 12th round, that's what I like to do. So let's go with Ray Davis.
Ray Ray.
Oh, Kyle Pitts just got picked.
Wait.
I
But
think
we kind of knew that, but we kind of had that inkling. You know
I
what I'm saying?
know, but I
We came
mean
down between the two.
that's just
What-
wrong though. To get it to pick before us, I mean that is. I see the AI must have heard us talking, Mister 401. AI heard us talking and said,
Hey
"Look
man,
who we
AI is
love."
taking over the world, man. AI is
Oh my!
taking over the world. They trying to take over our draft.
So, and I'm really, I mean, I'm really not in love with any of these other guys. I mean, hey,
What about?
I I
Oh,
mean,
go ahead.
we can go
Do
kicker. We can
we?
get the top kicker on the league.
Oh God. Do we need to do? But okay, is there another tight end that we can add to the roster besides
Hunter
Pitts?
Henry.
I know Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry.
You feel really good about Henry. Okay.
Yes, he's solid. Him and Drake May, hooked up quite a few, and he's our backup. He's so yeah. I mean, I like him and Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange is taking over the Evan Ingram role in Jacksonville, but as our backup, Brenton Strange has higher upside, but Hunter Henry is more solid. So it, I'm going to go with a solid guy to back up Kraft rather than the upside. Now, if I had one of those high uh, tight ends, like we'll talk about him next week, Mr. 4-1, if you draft a Trey McBride or if you draft Brock Bowers or George Kittle, Brenton Strange makes sense. But with and also Hunter Henry, we can actually stream him with a
Yeah.
Kraft. If Kraft is getting phased out due to Golden coming in and taking a lot of targets, and Wicks actually catching the ball, and Jaden Reed returning to what he was 2 years ago. That's probably so we'll be safe and get Hunter Henry at this spot. Really wanted Kyle Pitts though.
Yeah. No, I can tell by your reaction calculator.
I saw it as soon as he come off the board.
And
Like, man,
we got a question that's
okay.
going to pop up on the screen shortly. Okay. How many more picks do we have in the draft?
We have a defensive kicker. Defensive kicker. We've got two more
Oh,
picks.
okay. All right. So
So
you can just roll with that while we're talking.
okay,
There's a question here. We thank you for the question calculator. I'm gonna need you to read it and answer it.
yeah, this
While
sick Mickey's wants to rate his. Oh, first of all, my goodness, I would have loved. Well, if I was in that draft, he wouldn't have all those players. I can tell you because that was a solid draft. If you can get Bijan and Bucky and Nico, which is possible because he probably drafted Bijan and Nico, and Bijan in the first, Nico in the second, Bucky in the third, Jason in the fourth. Most likely got Kamara in the fifth.
yeah, that's crazy.
Jason, I mean, no, that was fourth. Joku, they rate your team. That's a playoff team right now. If everybody stays healthy, that's a playoff team because we're high on this show for Ted McMillan as a rookie. We're high on him. Ridley, I mean, he's got a new quarterback throwing to him. And Caleb Johnson, one of those unspoken running back. Although he has been getting a little negative press after his first game, but Caleb Johnson, hey, I saw him at Penn State, solid. He can break tackles. He's a great running back. Plays for the Steelers. Plays in it. But Jalen Warren is and Jalen Warren's not but that's the good thing about Caleb Johnson. Jalen Warren isn't a workhorse guy. But Jalen Warren is going to be there even if Caleb Johnson shows he can take over the Najee Harris role. Najee Harris wasn't, that in there, but he was still effective. See what I'm saying? So Caleb Johnson is
Yeah,
a great bench player. But yeah, hey, I love man. Just
I
that
want
I
this
mean,
team.
who now and what would make them even more dangerous is if they had if they had a double flex, and I mean because then you're starting DJ Moore and Kamara in your two flex positions. You've won the flex
Yeah,
position because you got
man.
Bijan and Bucky and your running backs Nico and JSN at wide receiver. Oh, hey sick Mixie, if you get in the 4-1 league, you will not have all those players on your team.
Hey, we have two openers in the league right now.
Oh, okay.
So if six want to join, man,
So
send us
hey,
your email address.
hey,
We'll get you in there.
and hey, that 4-1 league, it will only make you better. That's all we can say. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, I went and got Dicker as my kicker. He's like my second rated person because let me tell you, I think that that tackle injury is going to help Dicker even more because I think they're going to be. He does have a double flex.
Oh, he does. Oh my God.
Congratulations. That's all I got. Congratulations.
Hey,
But
celebration, man.
right. And hey, I'm just going to get the best defense on the board at this. I'm not going to get. Hold on. Let me. I'm going to look at something real quick, Mister 411, because what I like to do is if I'm drafting, and I'm going to show a little strategy in people's what they could do. Let me get it out here. If you don't have if you can't get one of those things, look at who has the easy first game of the year. So Kansas City's my top rated. Chargers. I mean,
Oh,
I don't know about that. See,
you may have to read those off to us, calculator.
yeah, we got see, Dallas is playing Philly, Chargers playing Kansas City.
Mm.
You know, I mean, there's really no advantageous. I mean, like I said, the Chargers, but they're at home. That's the one thing that scares me. But I mean, it could be one of those Friday night games that, But hold on, let me see. We got the Rams. Hold on. Are the Houston Texans available? No. Yeah, Texans are really a solid defense. I really don't like any of those matchups, so I'm just going to go with my top. Even though it's a Sunday night, they're still a good defense. They'll be healthy at the beginning of the season, so we'll go with our top rated defense on the board. So there it is, folks. We got Jalen Hurts, stud quarterback, Chase Brown, RJ Harvey, high upside young guys. Hey, my number one receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Bar Harrison Jr. Hey, breakout. We're calling the second year breakout. Tucker
Yes, sir.
Kraft, a solid but not spectacular tight end. But hey, he'll win you some games. He had some spike weeks last year. Devontae Smith. Hey, yes, we like Ted McMillan more, but Jalen Hurts, it's a great stack option. And then Kansas City and kicker, we're not worried about that. But hey, look at that running back room. Got Tony Pollard. Hey, don't work out. That's all right. We got Tajay Spears. Jawan Jennings, perfect guy on the bench, high upside. Rashid Shaheed, another high upside. Ray Davis, he's our lottery ticket. And Hunter Henry is if things don't work out with Tucker Kraft. I like that. So far, that's one of my favorite teams so far,
Yeah,
Mr. Pullman.
I love it, man. With this team, I would just sit back and just kind of hope that Kraft, if he
Yes.
could be the X factor for us, man, this team will go very far. But I love the fact, look, we have, and you talk about the running backs, but we also have Jalen Hurts. People don't forget that Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
he'll get those tush pushes, and then he also can scramble. So we
Mm-hmm.
have an extra running back right there at our quarterback position.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things and it's a sit and forget. That's why we didn't draft another quarterback because we got Jalen Hurts. His week when he went 9. I mean, if you get any other running back, you're not going to start him above Jalen Hurts, regardless of matchup. And also, from what I hear, it's going to be a harder schedule for Philadelphia. See what hurt Jalen Hurts a lot last year, and maybe I might have to redo my thinking now that I'm talking myself into Jalen Hurts. Is they were leading I think 97% of the time after their bye week, and I'm talking about big leads. So they just salted the game away with Saquon
Mm-hmm.
Barkley. So if a tougher schedule means he's going to have to pass more this year. So I think the pass more, and I don't think they're going to take his rushing away either. So because they don't go away with what got you to the Super Bowl, right? So yeah, I like Jalen Hurts, but I really like the Devontae Smith. I think that's a good bounce back with him as well. And if you look at our bye weeks, I mean, we spread it out pretty good as well. Not really too many bye weeks on the same week. So
Very
I like
good.
that. So
Yeah, I like it too, man. And guess what? Jalen can't hurt us. He can only help us.
that's right. That's
All
right.
right, calculator. Hey, man, another great episode, man. Love doing that. Next week our episode is covering tight ends,
Tight end.
and so
And folks, we're gonna do And we're going to do another strategy session with the tight ends as well. Of course, you'll have our rankings. We got to provide rankings because we got to provide the things. But I'll let you know the updated draft positions. Of course, I thought I knew it for quarterback, right, Mister 41? But that's what's crazy. ADP, and that's why we do these drafts, folks. We're trying to give you ADP trends, and it looks like quarterbacks went up since our last since my last thing that I researched. So yes, definitely tune in because we'll have another mock draft to see how we can and hey, we'll see what kind of tight end strategy. I'm not going to say if they fall to it. We always got to do what the draft gives you, but we might take a tight end early and then see how that affects our draft.
Ooh, I wonder which one we're gonna take. Guess we'll find out
Ah,
on the next
just
episode.
tune in next week and you'll definitely find out.
Yeah, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and share because why calculator?
Sharing is caring, folks.
Absolutely. We thank you all for tuning in. Catch us on the next one. We'd like to thank all the TikTok fans out there, all our YouTube fans. Appreciate all the
And
support.
like and six mixies. We appreciate the question.
Six,
And anytime you have a question, we will tell you if we like your team or not. Oh, and we'll be honest. If we don't like your team, we're not going to tell you we like your team. We got to be honest with you. That's why you tune in is for us to be honest with you.
absolutely. And hey, we post some questions too. Also on the show. Even though this show may be off in a couple minutes, it'll be off the air. We still constantly checking the comments and everything.
Yeah,
So put comments out there. We're gonna respond to it. Our fantasy football people are out there 24/7. So send us your info, man. This is what we love to do.
absolutely.
All right, calculator. Let's get to the next one. Hey, make sure you subscribe. I'm telling you, you have to because you
Yep.
just never know.
No.
Sometimes we pop up and have emergency shows too. So be
Remember
ready.
that? Hey, we remember the hurricane last year. We said,
Yep.
"Oh, we better get on the air." 411 was showing pictures of my survivor pack.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's why that notification button's there because you never know with the weather here in the southeast. You get a hurricane on short notice, So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely hit that notify button in case we have an emergency show.
That's right. Only time we won't have one is the asteroids heading our way.
Oh,
So we'll be so pretty much, we're gonna be here based on the odds. All
yeah.
right. All right. Well, he's the calculator on 411. Have a
See
good
ya.
one.